Sawadee Grizzlies. That's Thai for hello, and we'll soon find out if I'm pronouncing that right or not, because we're off to Thailand tomorrow. So the Lone Wolf is hitting Southeast Asia. Now, I haven't ventured much into this part of the world previously. I went jungle training in Brunei, the Sultanate, on the island of Borneo, and that is it, actually. So this is new territory for the Lone Wolf. The trip to Borneo was with the Marines, so it wasn't really cut loose doing what I wanted to do. I've always wanted to go to Thailand. This is one that's always been on my list. So we're not having any sort of Miami incident here where I said I don't really fussed about it and then went there and loved it. Hopefully it's not the opposite, where I've always wanted to go there. I finally go there and it's crap. And I'm sure it's not going to be. I mean, you got the islands, the beaches, and it's got the type of beaches that I really like, but they also got the scenery right up against it. You got the mountains and forestry and stuff like that just coming up from the beaches, and it just adds to it for me rather than just having a beautiful beach, but it's just flat and then nothing else. So it's my type of place, my type of beaches. The sea's going to be warm. Hopefully, it's a backpacker's haven. To be that type of place where it's so popular, right, it's going to be worth the trip. I guess I've treated it a bit like I treated New York for years, where it's on the list and it's like, well, I will get there at some point. There's no urgency. There was nothing really sort of prompting me and giving that final push to make it my next destination. So I'll be looking for an excuse, I guess. One appeared. So last year, my friend from America, Tyler, invited me to his wedding in Thailand. So there, looked at the dates. I'm my own boss. Yes, well, this is the excuse I've been looking for. So let's do it. Tyler, I know from my many excursions across the USA with my friend Sean years ago. My escapades with his mother Chris and his sister Courtney are documented in my autobiography. I write some stories because there's a few travel stories in there, in amongst the Marines and the war and the Arctic and jungle. Especially our trip up to Mackinac Island for Courtney's 21st, up in northern Michigan, getting a car crash. Missed the boat, end up flying to the island, and there's only horse and carts there. There's no motorized transport. The actual wedding part is going to take place on the island of Koh Samui. I think I pronounced that right. Done my research. The stag party, bachelor party is going to be on one of the islands, Koh Phangan, I think. The full moon party, so whatever that is, that's where the stag do party is. That's what we're going to. I've got 4 nights booked then it's a luxury resort called the W Hotel. Now, this has cost me a bomb. It's completely against my MO of how I would travel and what I would spend on accommodation. Not because I didn't have the money or wouldn't have the money to do it. I just don't spend lots of money on accommodation. My view is when I'm going somewhere, well, I want to go and see somewhere. I don't want to be stuck in a hotel room, as nice as it can be, for too much time. And I don't want it to be that nice that it's encouraging me to stay in the hotel area. I'll hit you with the figures. It's $400 a night. So in total, 4 nights, $1,600, which is a lot. It would have been halved if Sean was coming, because they had a group deal. They invited us. It would have been 2 of us in there, and it still would have been a lot more than I would be willing to pay generally. I could have pulled out of not staying there with the group and going somewhere different. I thought, do you know what? I never do this, ever. I've never spent that much anywhere near that before on a hotel or anything. I hardly ever spend money on myself apart from like travels and stuff like that this year. But in day-to-day life, I mean, look at this hoodie. This hoodie's got to be 15 years old at least. I definitely remember going on a stag do with this on in 2009. And then I looked online at this resort and it is absolutely phenomenal. I got my own suite. As you open the glass, it's not a balcony, glass sort of patio. Is that the right word? Patio? What do you call a luxury hotel suites area at the front patio? Somebody tell me the name, the word I'm looking for to describe this, please, in the comments. I'm going to call it a patio, all right? Or what else can we come up with? You're an author, Westy. Come on. Luxury mini plaza area. I'm going to go with that. Yeah, luxury mini plaza area. Okay, so you open the glass door and you got your luxury mini plaza area. And then you got one of those long swimming pools, private, on your patio / luxury mini plaza. It's got a gym there and everything you expect from a luxury thing. It was just like, oh my God, that is a shitload of money. Totally against how I do things. But if you're gonna be a bear, you might as well be a grizzly. So I'm flying to Bangkok. I was looking at maybe doing a night in Bangkok but I've sacked that off. A lot of people saying it's a city. Yeah, of course it's worth seeing, but you're better off just getting straight out of there. I might catch it on the way back. So heading down to Pattaya, the gang are going to for about 5 nights. Thailand's Sin City, it's called. So that should be interesting. So flying to Bangkok, getting the bus. That way I haven't booked the bus yet, but that's the plan. I only booked my train to Heathrow an hour ago. I'm going tomorrow morning. And I only booked the 5 nights in Pattaya Hotel last night. I'm not surprising anybody with these last minute plans here. Obviously I haven't packed yet either. And then we're going to fly down to Koh Samui. Obviously, I haven't booked that flight yet. Some time down to Koh Samui for the wedding antics and stuff like that. And then the final week or so after that, I haven't booked anything, apart from the flight home from Bangkok. Purposely leaving that blank until I get out there. Going to start talking to the wedding gang. That's their name now, wedding gang. That's it. I've christened them. Locals, other people who are out there traveling and touring around and get a few. A bit like I did in South America. I had a rough route of where I wanted to go and then made it up as I was going. Let's address the elephant in the room. Everybody in the past few weeks, the past week, I've only been back a week from USA before going again. So in that week I've come back. Oh, it was USA? Yeah, great, yeah. I'm off again on Monday. When I say Thailand, it's all like, whoa. Depends on who you talk to, of course. But most of the blokes are like, it's very suggestive looks. And obviously, what's the elephant in the room? The reputation, the cliche, the lady boys of Bangkok. Pattaya's called Sin City, all right, for a reason. I'm sure you all seen the videos and you heard the stories and stuff like that. In the Marines, a lot of lads used to go out there. I know, obviously not everybody says that when they do it, but a lot of people, it's quite sad that country, the first thing you say when you go to Thailand is that cliche reaction of, oh yeah, lady boys and all that. So as if I'm going out there as some kind of sex tourist or whatever, which I'm not, which is fine. I obviously got nothing against that. Be who you want to be, all right? The world is a reason it's got that title and it's that type of place. They embrace it. So happy days. But it is an intriguing subject. It's part of their culture. It's a massive part of their tourism. So it will be quite interesting to go to those areas, do a bit of filming, chat to some people. Yeah, just actually witness it from all the stories you hear about it. Out there for 3 weeks, I'm dressed like a scruff because I've had a manic few days at the bar, trying to sort the business out before leaving because it's a short turnaround. We're coming back from the USA, a lot to catch up on with all the disasters that happened when I was in USA. And of course, then preparing everything ready for me to go away again. It's a weird one. I should be excited and go to Thailand, and I am, and I will be once I get on the train, because once I get on the train tomorrow, it's like, well, I can't do anything else. I've done everything, or did as much as I can. But of course, now I'm in that moment where I'm trying to do as much as I can, and he's second guessing himself, have I done everything? Have I left the guys in a strong enough position for when I go away that I'm not letting them down? Yeah, it's like a limbo position in between going, where you're just still weighing on me thinking, have I got everything sorted? So Thailand, 2024, we're going Lone Wolf, stay grizzly. This just feels wrong, guys. That is a small backpack, as you can see. It's not even half full of clothes. Here we go with the old weight test. So this is my hand luggage, but I'm gonna check it in if I can. They said I can. 8.1, not bad. Absolutely breezed through the security at Terminal 4 Heathrow. Just walked straight up to the counter, stuff in the tray. Straight through, did get pulled aside for an extra pat down. We're used to that. Don't want to sound like I'm coming off anti-American compared to those ones from my recent trip out there. Different world. I'm sure Americans can appreciate where I'm coming from with that. My daughter's American, so can't really be anti-American for no reason, can I? But that was great, getting through at Heathrow. Find myself a spoons now, coffee, and then load up with the free refills in a little beaker for the flight. Happy days. Flying with Qatar Air today, which I've probably flown with before. I can't remember. Flown with a few of the Middle Eastern airlines, and they tend to be pretty good. I think Emirates I've flown with, and a couple of other ones. I can't remember. Apart from Kuwaiti Airlines. I flew with them to New York once, and it was horrendous. So they are the exception to the rule. Landed in Doha. I have actually been to Qatar before with boots on the ground. got approached by security because my bags got Lone Wolf as well in the corner. So yeah, I've been in Qatar before, actually boots on the ground. So my tour of Baghdad, Iraq, 2006, so quite some time ago now. It's a young thruster. We had a transit on, we had a break, well, halfway through the tour we get a week or so to go back home, R&R, and we had a transit stop, an American air-based Al Udeid, I think it's called. So we had about 24 hours there. I think the Yanks hated that camp by the sounds of it. They'll walk around with t-shirts going like, I survived the deed or something like that. But we loved it, being young British lads with American bases with all their luxuries and amenities, pizza places and coffee places, far advanced than the British stuff. Although in Baghdad we did have access to all the American stuff anyway, but it was still a novelty. And yeah, enjoyed that little trip. They had a band on, they had a big like concert area there. They had a band on the night we were there. So again, not quite a tourist stop of Qatar, but I have been here before, boots on the ground. But just an hour and a half here now for the transfer flight. I got out of the gate, looked at the big board and found the gate and started walking around looking for it. I was like, well, where's gate B3? Behind me is getting back on the same plane, which is good actually, because it was a good plane. Qatar Airways, very impressed. I think I've flown with them before, but either way, like I said before, these Middle Eastern ones, they tend to be pretty good. This one was a lady from Morocco going to Saudi Arabia, sat on the same row as me. The middle one was empty, so it was good, we could spread out a bit. She gave me a recommendation to go to Sardinia, so look out for that one on the Lone Wolf travels this year. The food was brilliant. Like proper big chunks of chicken in it, metal cutlery, which I've only ever had before when I got upgraded to first class. I've never seen it in coach or economy, whatever you want to call it. I always assumed that was because that there's no metal cutlery on planes was because of a safety thing. Obviously metal, fork and knife, you can start stabbing with it, whatever, so they give you plastic or little wooden ones, you can't do much damage. Which, with me believing that, I was always like, well, why do they give it to first class then? Because if you're gonna do something like hijack the plane and you're probably gonna not make it out alive, you're gonna pay 12 grand for a seat. Because you don't care about the money, because you ain't coming back. Anyway, maybe it isn't for that reason. By the looks of it, maybe it's just to save money and weight, stuff like that. But yeah, metal cutlery made a big difference. And yeah, the food was great. Loads of leg room on there with the seats. Really smooth, great landing. Staff are very professional, polite. All checked in Pattaya, long old flight. The room, let's get down to it straight away. It's nice, it's decent. Of course, I booked this a couple of nights ago on booking.com. Just picked one that had a little fitness centre. I haven't scoped it out yet. Don't know what state that is in, right, or what level it's at. It's got a pool, right, fairly central location. Right, the pictures looked fairly decent, although a lot of them you could tell they aren't a true reflection, they're just like stock images. It's what you get from a kind of a travel lodge or Premier Inn back in the UK, that type of chain hotel room. Or if you go into Spain and countries like that, when you go into like your big apartment block type hotels, right, it's decent size. Right, that is more than big enough bed for me, right, so it's nice, decent size double bed. You got a balcony. Okay, we'll have a little look at there in a sec. Coffee making facilities, although they won't be good enough for me because I'm a coffee snob, self-proclaimed. Yeah, so it's that type of thing. So I'm happy that it's that and it's not some dive or ghetto in Miami, which we fell foul of a few weeks ago. Ensuite bathroom, right, quite small, but I'm a bloke, I'm a lone wolf, I'm grizzly. So first impressions, we're happy with the accommodation, so it's a good start. But that raw sewage smell associate with Baghdad and Oman, places like that. Pattaya, Thailand. Here we are. Landed at Bangkok earlier today. Was going to get the bus down. 2-hour wait till the next one, despite it saying that every hour. So I looked up the Bolt, which is like another version of Uber. 900 baht, and already the haggling and trying to eke every little penny out of you that they can has begun, because I booked it, it wouldn't take card or digital, so it had to be cash to the driver, and then instantly, as soon as I booked it, message from the driver, it's 1200 baht because of the toll roads, etc. So I said, well, it said 900. Instantly, she's like, no, nobody does that. And then I said, fine, cancel. And again, straight away within a second, as soon as I said cancel, dropped to 1100, and I was like, do you know what? And it wasn't the money, it was an extra like £2 or something they'd dropped off. It's the principle of it. He was trying it on from the start, and then I was like, you know what? She dropped it a little bit. I just want to get there now. I'm tired. Seems like the Porto vibes have followed me, hammering down with rain on the way down from Bangkok to Pattaya. Normally, the whiskey wolf of old, when he gets on these trips, I'd have got you, dropped the bags off, quick shower, and it would have been bar, drink, party, which was great, obviously. And if that was happening now, I would be buzzing for it. It'd be brilliant, just exploring this area now, different bars, just meeting random people, chatting, talking shit, and going on a little adventure. And yeah, I'm not putting that down at all. Just saying times have changed a little bit and I've calmed down. So there will be some drinking and partying on this trip. We got the full moon party for the stag do / bachelor party, because Tyler's American. That's what they call it out there. But as it stands, not today. Pretty tired. I'm not going to be lame enough to just sack it and call it a night already. Going to stay grizzly. Yeah, do a little bit of exploring, not too much, because I do want to get a good bit of sleep tonight. And then I don't really know what I'm going to be doing here. I was thinking that earlier. I got here and I was like, all right, well, tomorrow we'll just take the hit. We'll chill out. We'll go and see a couple of things. I've sent me a tweet, buy a few bits and bobs. What am I actually doing for the rest of the week? I'm going to meet up with Tyler and the gang, the wedding gang, at some point. But other than that, I'm a bit lost. I'm sure I'll be fine. I'll find something. I'm going to get up and do a circuit, check out the fitness suite in the hotel and take it from there. And to be honest with you, yes, I am down at the beach area now. So we got Soi 6 is the elephant in the room, right? It's the craziest street in the world. And I'm going to go, of course I'm going to go walk down it and have a look and poke my nose in. You tell me people don't go to Amsterdam and have a look at the red light district. Of course they do. It's part of the tourist trail. It's part of the culture. Right, and it's something you've got to tick off. So yeah, we've heard all the rumours. You got to go and see it. You got to go and look at it. And yeah, I'm definitely going to poke my head up there, do a bit of filming if nobody takes too much offence, because I'd imagine there's a few people there probably don't want it on camera. Although can't imagine they'd be doing anything dodgy in the middle of the street. I'm going to be diving into any back rooms or anything. And fuck it, I might have some food there as well. They're going to do food in the bars there. I'm not drinking, I'll have a Coca-Cola or whatever. So I'll set my stall out for anybody approaches me like, I'm drinking Coca-Cola. I don't think this is going to go the way you want it to. But have a bit of food. Yeah, maybe have a chat with them. See what it is like. And yeah, it's infamous. Why wouldn't you go and have a look at it? Might even chat to a few British expats or something who've settled out here. It's quite funny on the way out, because now in the pre-talk before this, I'm saying about it's quite sad and funny, the reaction of, oh, you're going to Thailand, that thing, the preconceptions. And it's worked on me, because I was sat on the plane and in the airport, or just looking around, it just sort of scanning, and all like the older blokes with baldy heads, like who they're travelling with, do they look shifty? Just trying to suss out if they are coming out here for sex tourism or something. There's one geezer, shaved head, tattoos all over him, big pot belly on him, and a Manchester United football top. Like, he's definitely going straight to Soi 6. As soon as he's wheels down, he's heads to Zeds straight for a bit of action. That check in my hand luggage backfired on me as well. Took absolutely ages for it to come through on the conveyor belt. I should have just, because it's suitable to go as hand luggage, definitely light enough. Half of it's full of protein bars because it had so much space left in it. I was like, I slammed a load of protein bars and protein powder in there as well. And extra chargers for the phones and equipment. Yeah, it took absolutely ages. One thing that winds me up about airports is three big things that really wind me up. Probably shouldn't as much as they do, but they do. One is people walking in somewhere that's clearly open, for example, my business. All the lights are on, it's open, everything's set up or whatever. There's clearly someone there and start shouting, hello, hello, like they're the last person on earth or something. Winds me up. People who knock your front window instead of your door, like delivery drivers or anyone. So I have a guy who rented the space at the back of my house, the extension, and he used to come around and do it, and I went absolutely mental with him. And the other one is people who stand right up to the edge of the conveyor belt when it's busy and everybody's waiting for their luggage to come around. Step back, there's a line for a reason. Because if you step back, we can all get a panoramic of the conveyor belt. Stand right up against it, you block the view for everyone. Oh, absolutely breaks me. So that didn't help the situation of waiting for the bags. I'd probably missed that bus, so I would have had to wait another 2 hours for it as well. So on the way back, I've booked a train back to Swansea when I get back, which is an hour after I land. So I'm not making that mistake again and going hand luggage on the way back. Can't tell if some of these clothes are chicks or dudes, but we're in Thailand, so I don't think it matters.